Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the channel. It's Dale from Down Under. This video is brought to you on behalf of Dale and Nisha's Road to Thailand. And today our topic is going to be about age gaps and age differences between Asian women and Western men. Now this topic obviously is across YouTube everywhere. There's probably a million videos made about it, but it's one of those topics I've always wanted to talk about because I guess I have my own opinion, and you guys obviously are going to be in all sorts of different situations. There's going to be a lot of you people out there at the moment that are already in relationships or had relationships previously with these age differences. So first of all, I'm not sure your situation, but my situation is, obviously you know Nisha, Dale and Nisha, my wife Nisha, when I met her, she was basically 37 years old and I was 50 years of age. So we've now been together 7 years and look, it's a perfect match, you know. There's an age gap of around about 14 years, I think, give or take. You probably do your maths there. But I'm now 57 and she's now 44. So anyway, what I want to talk about is what age gap and difference do you think are the right age gaps based on what you all know out there in YouTube land and for your experiences and what you feel. But from my opinion, I believe that when men go to Thailand or any Asian country, the first thing you have to remember is when you're going to decide on that age gap, I think you're lucky enough, obviously we know that we wouldn't have these age gaps so much in Western society as we would when we have Asian women meeting Farangs and Western men. We know the reasons why. Obviously, poverty and all those things are part of it, and going to see them in a different Asian country, their culture is different as well. Asian women are a lot more accepting of men older because for them, a lot of women see older men as being stable and they trust them. They know that these men are more reliable than the younger guys. So, and they're obviously had a lot of history. They've already had a working career and they can provide for these women. So yes, we can say that it's a monetary thing, but it's a balance of everything. The woman is looking for someone that can actually look after her. But in the same token, she wants to look after him in return too. So it's a catch-22. It's a perfect match. At the end of the day, some of these relationships are love and some of them are really their business relationships. And what I mean by that is if you're in your 70s, and if you're lucky enough out there, you're lucky dogs, you're in your 70s or 80s, and you're dating girls from Asia and they're in their early 20s or, you know, late 20s, early 30s, you know at the end of the day, the high percentage of it being love is not real. She's not with you because you look like Tom Cruise. Let's just get that straight, okay? She's with you because you're going to provide a lot of things that she won't be able to get from other men. And obviously, the older you are, the more chances that you are of holding on to her because she is your little trophy. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think as long as the older guy understands that this is a business proposition, it's not a marriage, it's not a love relationship. It's purely a relationship where you're asking something from her, and we know what that is. That is a beautiful young girl that can give you pleasure that you wouldn't get from an older woman. And you're paying for that luxury. You're happy enough to pay for that. And then I don't mean pay for that meaning they're working girls, because they're not all working girls, but you're going to pay for that in a roundabout way, no matter what you do. It's going to be in buying her things. It's going to be assets. It's going to be money. So now all of a sudden you've got a woman that is giving you what you want, and the older guy is giving her what she wants. So she's looking for some funding and some support, and he's looking for fun, and he's looking for a relationship and someone that's going to make him feel good. Now that girl may not be able to cook, clean or whatever. She doesn't need to, because this guy is not looking for a cleaner. He's looking for a young girl to have some fun with. So that's one relationship, okay? And if anyone out there is in that relationship, good luck to you. And if you're happy in that relationship, that is fine. But you and I know, we all know, that's not going to last. The older you are and the younger she is, she's actually in a very good position because she's just waiting, I guess, for a period of time where you're probably going to pass away. And the more unhealthier you are, and the more likely to live longer, is a bonus for them. And when you're gone, most likely they will be straight on to getting on with their life with another man, obviously a lot younger, with your money or whatever assets you leave behind. Okay, that's done and dusted. That is at the higher end of the scale for the older guys. Now, let's talk about guys that are maybe in their, let's say between 40s and 60s, okay? I believe if you're going to go to Thailand and you're in your 60s, I don't believe you should be dating a woman under 35. The reason I say that is because I do believe that no matter what woman you pick, whether it's Western or Asian, women don't normally mature until they're around 35 years of age. Once they get past 35, they've had some life experiences. They've probably maybe had children already. They may have even had one marriage or one long serious relationship. So that's a bonus. Anyone under that 35 years of age, maybe they haven't had that serious relationship. Maybe they've never actually been in a serious relationship. They've had no children and no experience in life, and they're still maybe young at heart and they're not ready to settle. So they're not a good catch for someone that's basically between 50 and 60, okay? That's about the middle area. Now, I think anyone that's basically around sort of 60 to 70, in all honesty, I think they should be going to Thailand looking for someone either the similar age, is 70-year-old looking for a 60-year-old woman. He's still getting a woman that is 10 years junior to him. And in the Western world, you'd be very happy with that. Now, when you go to Thailand or these Asian countries, the beauty about women that are 60 is, you probably already know, guys, some of these women that are in their 60s look like they're 40. They look very young. But the best thing about it is, being 60, they've had all the life experiences. They would have had their children by now, and if they haven't had any, they're not wanting to have children. So that's a good thing, okay? But they are very experienced in many ways. They'll probably likely be someone that can cook for you. They can clean, look after you, massage you, look after you when you're sick. They will be stayers. They will make sure that you will be looked after like a king, and you will get a keeper in return. And you don't have to worry about coming home and wondering if she's on the internet or cheating on you. That is a perfect relationship. I still believe if you're in that 60s or 70 mark, you can still basically find someone between 40 plus as a Thai woman. She could be 40 and you might be 70. It's a 30-year age gap. That's probably okay, because I believe that the woman is over 35, like I said, and she's more bankable, she's more trustworthy, she's more stable. She's most likely to realise that what you can give her is going to set her up for life. And if she does love you, which there's a good possibility that she could love you, because she's 35, she may have realised that she's had some things in the past that weren't good, or men that she's been with. And then you come along, you're 60 or 70, and she finds that you have a great heart, you are a very lovely man, and she's looking for that. And she knows that you also won't cheat on her, because you know what you want. You know that her being 40, 30 years younger, she's attractive. You find her beautiful. You find her desirable, and she wants to feel that. And the more she feels that from a man, the more secure she feels. So she would be happy to go with anyone probably between her age of 40 and 70 is probably about the cut-off period. I think any older than that, then she's probably looking for money more than love, if that makes sense, okay? So I hope you're still with me right now. And I think any guy that goes over to the younger age, and I'm not going to get too young because I think my channel's not suited for guys that are 18 to 25, okay? So I'm aware of that. But I do believe if anyone's watching out there and you're a male of sort of 35 years of age, I've got no problems with you probably going to look for a girl anything as young as 18, but I do believe that you really want to go for a girl in Thailand that's probably 25. Because an 18-year-old girl, they've only just finished school, you're 35, you're probably asking for trouble. I don't think it's a good idea to be 35 looking for an 18-year-old. I think you're just looking for your next mistake. So as a 35-year-old, I think around that 25 mark, She hasn't had children before. She hasn't been married. She's not scarred with anything in the way of financial or baggage or relationships. She is ready in a good position. But if you're going to pick a 25-year-old, make sure you pick a 25-year-old that doesn't want to come back to your country and sit on the sofa with her skimpy looking gear and her makeup on looking all beautiful, thinking, great, I've come to your country, I have no intention of working because I'm stunning and I can get any man I want, you know that. That's why it's probably not a good idea. So pick a 25-year-old that is a very traditional type Thai girl. Get to know her, know that she's not the type to build at parties or goes out and wants to have fun and drinking and socialising all the time. Pick a 25-year-old that's got the maturity of like a 30-year-old plus, one that doesn't want to go out and do those things, but she wants to cook, or maybe she's good at cooking and cleaning, and you already know she has these home skills, which is a bonus because now you're getting a young, beautiful girl, 25. She hasn't been tarnished by any relationships and she's ready to commit to you, and she's a good woman, But don't go meeting these 25-year-olds in Phuket, Chiang Mai, Bangkok or Pattaya. That's probably a place I would stay away from if I'm looking for a 25-year-old, because you're probably one of many guys that have already been with this girl, and you're messing with fire. So that's the 35-year-old guy. I would probably choose someone 25 plus, and I would make sure I did my research on that girl, because at that age, as I said, they're very desirable by men that are even as old as 50, 60, and they've probably already been connected with those guys. And the other thing you'd want to check out with them as well is looking at their social media and have a look at their friends list, because you will actually, when you see a Thai girl with a lot of friends on the list that are Western, you will see a lot of older men and guys. That's a good sign this girl is a player, okay? You want to find a girl who's probably maybe not on social media. Very unlikely you'll find an Asian girl that's not on social media because they love it. But look for one that you see on social media. She's very reserved. She hasn't got photos of herself with skimpy stuff on. She doesn't have a lot of Western people as friends. That tells you that she's basically stayed as a traditional Thai girl, and she's not into mixing with the Westerners. You just happen to just come across her by luck, and she's interested in you. So that's another situation I think that you could find yourself in. Do your homework at that age. But anyway, my channel is targeted probably to people at 35 upwards. So I hope with some of those subjects we spoke about, you understand what I mean. I think that, when people say, I want to go to Thailand, I'm going to meet someone 30 years younger, that's fine when you're 80. That means you're with a 50-year-old, okay? That you can probably accept. But when you're 50 and then you go a 30-year-old and she's in her 20s, I just don't understand why you would want to do that. I mean, you're 50 already. Why not go and find yourself a woman that's 35 plus, that's stunning, she's beautiful. She may have already been married once and she might already have children. And like myself, when I was over in Thailand, I was divorced, and I was in my late 40s when I divorced. So I already had children. So the last thing I would want to do is go to Thailand even at the age of 47 at the time and meet a 23-year-old and get her pregnant and then find out now I have another one child or two child when my children are almost at the age where they're driving cars and they've got the freedom of living their own life, and here I am becoming a father again, and when I go to drop off that child at school in the future, they're going to think I'm the grandfather, not the father. So they're all silly things that I think a lot of men, find themselves in that situation where they do think, I've got this 23-year-old stunning Thai girl and I'm at 50 and guys are going to be so envious of me and so jealous, and, have a look at this bloke. But, half the people are probably laughing at you in one way. And I know it's horrible, but they're thinking probably what most people would think. It's not going to last. And the truth is, it's probably likely not. She's probably going to end up coming back to your country at 23. She's going to hook up with one of your friends or maybe even your son. So that's another dangerous thing again. But anyway, this is a subject that I've been wanting to talk about. I'd love to hear your comments, guys. I do believe that also when it comes to meeting women, I think you have to, a lot of people will meet these women online, and that's where the ball starts rolling. But in all honesty, if you're going to meet a really good Thai woman, you've got to get on a plane, guys, and you've got to be prepared to go over to those countries, Philippines, Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand, wherever. You've got to be prepared to go over there and live there for at least 6 months, 6 months to a year. And I think this subject is probably targeted more at guys that have probably got the luxury to be able to be semi-retired or retired, really, because not many guys in their 30s, 40s can afford to go and live over there for 6 months to 12 months when they're in their early 30s. So I would say if you're in that position to do the traveling, go overseas, get a ticket, go and stay over there and maybe just live in a couple of different provinces. Get a feel for women. These women might work in, the local markets. They might work in 7-Elevens. Who knows where they are? The younger girls probably in the 7-Elevens, but women sometimes work in salons. They work in markets. They work in clothing shops. They work in office buildings. Get to know these women and see what lives they're leading before you decide to put your toe in the water and get stuck into another relationship from the Western world into the Asian world. So you got to do your homework, and all these bad stories I always hear on the internet, and I get sick of them. I do, honestly, because I've got a good one. I know it's easy for me to say, but I was, in my early videos, you'll see the one where I was fooled by a Thai woman. Fooled once, yep, her fault. Fooled twice, my fault, okay? I only got fooled once, and I learned a lot from that. And she was obviously about 15 years younger too. But I learned from that, and then this time round I got it right, guys, because I used my mind rather than using that, and I came out a winner. But I learned the hard way. I don't want you guys to have to go through what I went through, because it's not nice, and you feel stupid. But you'll see that in the other video. But my plea to you guys is, if you're going to want a relationship with a Thai woman, and you want it to be a success one, don't go to the wrong places expecting to find the right woman, because it's stupid. You don't go to a red light district in Thailand and fall in love with a bar girl. And I'm not saying that it can't happen where the bar girl converts to being an angel down the track, but let's look reality wise, guys, is the percentage of that happening is about 1%. So get away from the big mecca cities where we know the red light districts are. Go out to the villages, go out to the larger big eastern cities and that, go and get away from the big cities and find these lovely, beautiful villages and that, where there are squillions of these lovely, gorgeous women. And to be honest, a lot of these women, we would rate some of them as being like 9 out of 10s. But in Thailand, there's millions of them. So a woman that's probably in her 30s and hasn't been married, no children, she's almost considered to be over the hill in these villages, because they think by the time they're 30, they expect them to be married, but they're still single because there's not enough men, or she's not interested in the men in the village. So that's another thing I think you should do, is go to the villages and just get to see them in their normal life, and you just get to chat. And it could be a girl that makes you, your pad thai. It could be a woman that, you buy shorts or a t-shirt from, and you go past some place and buy an ice cream every day. Just get to know them, and you won't have those bad stories. If you do your homework, you're not going to end up those horror Thai stories where someone's milked you for all your money, you've got a visa, you've brought it back home, and they're on with your workmate or your best friend. Like I said before, you've got to go to the right places to meet the right women. And if they speak English also, this is another thing, if their English is absolutely fantastic and they haven't been to university studying English or something along those lines, there's a good chance that the reason they speak English is because they've hung out at a lot of these places where a lot of Farangs hang out, and they're there trying to get into that market of finding themselves their next target. So speaking great English is not a great thing. You really want to find someone that basically has reasonable English, but not brilliant. And you also want to find a girl that's got some intelligence as well, because if you decide you're going to bring them to your country in the future, you want them to be able to work and it's going to be hard for them to work if they're from a farming area and they basically don't speak any English. So anyway, that's another topic, but today's topic really was the age group, and I hope that you guys have got some opinions as well, because I'd love to hear them. And I'm sure this is a topic that will absolutely have everyone sending comments left, right, and center. Some of you guys will probably throw a lot of crap at me for my opinions and disagree with me. But remember, I was only saying it in my own way, my own opinion. It's my thoughts and my theory on the age gaps. Because I hear so many people saying, oh yeah, it's great, you can go over to Thailand and you can be meeting girls in their 20s and they're hot and they're sexy. That's all great, but they're not relationship material. They're not wifey material, and it's fun, but it's not long term, guys. Long term is pretty much what I said when I went through all each category of saying I think this particular age group and that one in the man's age, that is a good match, and I explained the reasons why: maturity, the settling down, and as I said, if you're going to find a beautiful Thai woman too, make sure they can give you something in return other than just pleasure in the bedroom, because you're going to need more than that. You're going to need friendship from them. They're going to need to be your best friend. They're going to need to be someone that you can create a life with, someone that wants to put in the hard effort, the hard work, someone that comes from that attitude of let's build a life together, and don't do it with someone that's been there 4, 5, 6 times, because that's silly as well. But anyway, guys, please make sure you leave your comments, and I look forward to seeing them, good or bad. And you can attack me and have a go at me. That's fine. This channel is all about discussing the topics, and there are many more to come. But today's was just the age group. So thanks for watching. If you're still watching at the moment, you and you, you guys, I love you all. It's a great team we're building. And I appreciate you guys watching the video. So don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget also to like the video if you do like it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And most of all, don't forget, always be nice.